welcome to, oh my gosh, I think I clicked all the right buttons at the right time, you guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vancouver by Night. This is Phandalin by Night, Season 3. Sarah, you totally threw me by doing this. I was like, Season 4? What is happening? Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's so good to see you. First off, huge thank you to, we just got a raid. Thank you so much to DM Daddy RPG. Thank you for raiding us as we jump into our Season 3. I would love to, in fact, introduce our crew here. And let's get into it. One thing I will say, unfortunately, across from me, Sean, buddy, feel better. Our buddy is not feeling well tonight. 9, our human paladin is not feeling well tonight, so he's gonna get better. I'm gonna let my crew introduce themselves, tell a little bit about their characters, and then I've got some notes from our sponsors, and then we'll jump into the action. Does that sound okay? Am I gonna call on people? We'll go Amanda, Najra, Nikki, Sarah. How about that?
That's good. Hi, I'm Amanda, balderdashing on most social media, and I play Whimsy, the tiefling warlock with a bunch of daddy issues and a pack of wolves that he is very close with. He sometimes thinks he's one of them.
To be fair, sometimes he is.
Sometimes he is.
Sometimes
as of
he is.
recently.
Returning from Season 1, we are so thrilled to have Najra back. Najra, tell us about Jart and yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra from Najra Creations, and I play Jart, the Fire Genasi monk. And she's back with some trouble, so we'll see what happens.
With some grim news to share with the party. Nikki, the fabulous. I wish that we could get more of this costume into frame, but tell us about Denny.
Unfortunately, I have to be sat pretty close. I only have limited room. But hi everyone, I'm Nikki. I will be playing Denny, the tiefling bard. Just like Whimsy, I too have daddy issues, but like the fun kind. So looking forward to getting into that.
And last but certainly not least, Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'll be playing Graja Rage Rock, the half-orc barbarian. And to break from the rest of the party, I have mommy issues instead of daddy issues. So there's that. But she's working past it. She's a guardian now. She's serious. She's got her hair up. So we're ready to take on the world and beyond.
And my name is Sarah. I am your dungeon mistress here on Phandalin by Night. And yeah, I want to say a word about our sponsors, and then we'll kind of talk about where we ended up last season, and we'll start to get into where things might be going. First, thank you to Mikhail Artoria of Artoria Designs, who creates the most beautiful dice boxes. You can visit on Instagram. I see Steve is in the chat doing the thing. Thank you, Steve. And thank you. Well, yeah, I'll get to them in a second. Illuminagents is a comedy web series that weaves real conspiracy theories into sci-fi short-form episodes. It's shot in Toronto, CanCon. Shout out. This indie production will leave you laughing and questioning reality at the same time. Watch Season 1, which includes a musical finale episode free on Sika.tv. Orc.style. Sarah, show off. There it is. Orc.style is an adult-only fantasy fetish fashion brand for all of you orc-loving monster huggers out there. Orc.style shirts, underwear, and accessories are sure to drop your intelligence but increase your confidence by 10. They also have just released their Chompers Orc Tusks. Chompers are perfect for cosplay, roleplay, and streaming. Orc.style's expert tusk enchanters infuse the spirits of great orcs, trolls, ogres, and goblins into magical tusks that will transform the common human into a fierce monster. Oh, and we gotta thank you, obviously, for being a partner, Orc.style. But seriously, because they sent me the little goblin teeth, and Sarah has the bigger ones. They are good. They're real good. they're a quality product we can fully stand behind, and love them. Another quality partner who we can stand behind is Martlet Games, a collective of TTRPG veterans ready to work for you. From tabletop RPG development to actual play production, they've contributed to Storyteller Vault titles and sponsor channels like us to keep the world of darkness a haven for those with stories to tell. Visit their link in the chat to explore their worlds. They can help you create yours. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I also just want to start on the top by saying thank you to Joe and Steve at Vancouver by Night for having us back for a season 3, and your full-throated support that you've always been there for us, and have been so encouraging to let us have some space here. We are so excited to tell this story. Should we get into it? Is everybody ready? When last we met our heroes, because fundamentally, this is a family of heroes, a found family that has come together. Our heroes have been through quite the adventures. Starting above table, we started by playing the Lost Mines of Phandalin. And if you have been following the Wizards of the Coast drops of their ever-expanding lore and world, you know that just about a month ago, they released the next adventure setting in Phandalin. And we're going to pick up where that is. So we are going to be playing the Shattered Obelisk. We do have our own little alternate reality. We are like Loki season 2. We have our own stories that we tell, our own alternate universe. And the first is that Phandalin doesn't exist anymore. It was razed to the ground by a green dragon, and there was this whole thing. The heroes got sent away from the prime material plane for 6 weeks. When they came back, it was razed. But actually, they found their own little place to be. Coneyberry in our world is this magical land, not unlike Agrabah from Aladdin, which is the picture that you see in the map here. It is very, very warm. It is a desert place that exists in kind of a pocket plane that moves around as it needs to. And our family here, more or less, most of them, have set up in this town of Coneyberry, which, again, it's a pocket plane run by a little satyr named Stanfield, who kind of sounds like Danny DeVito kind of ish thing. And that is where we find our home. But not Jart, actually. Our Genasi monk, upon dying cruelly in season 1, about halfway through season 1, decided that she really needed to focus on some important things. And she took Cragmaw Castle, which, if you're familiar with Lost Mines of Phandalin, you'll know that that is a setting in that story. And she set it up. Jart set it up to be a monk monastery of her people, and has been working to give some of the refugees of the Sword Coast, which is under major siege, has been working to give them a home, because Coneyberry is a home for people who don't fit in other places. Coneyberry is a very special sanctuary that not everybody knows about. It's a little bit hush hush. So that's where we're going to dive in, where Jart, being more connected to the Sword Coast than just kind of the Coneyberry is kind of a large city. It's a medium-sized city for sure. And it has a lot going on, and our heroes have been doing a lot of work to get it going. Jart and the monastery are in the real prime material plane, not in the pocket dimension, and some troubling things have been happening. So I'm gonna pop into our Coneyberry crew first, so that Jart can come in dramatically in a couple of minutes. Should we start with our couple? Because that's a thing now. Mommy and Daddy have been together. From the end of season 2, we have time skipped about 6 months to a year in the future, and this little will they, won't they is now a definitely is. It's a hard launch. Mama and Daddy have started a business. Graja and Denny, tell us a little bit about what's going on.
After you, my dear.
Of course. So Graja, along with Nine and Denny have started a mercenary company. Basically trying to ease some of the suffering of the Sword Coast. To go out on missions. Nine is out there in the field. He's training the soldiers and everything like that. While Graja has sort of been in the office, doing the books, doing the scheduling, kind of taking a backseat to the fighting for the moment. She feels like she wants to keep herself safe because she's a guardian to Droop, the adopted goblin now. She's in a relationship, so she feels like she wants to keep herself safe for the sake of the people that she loves. But she's still overseeing these missions, still looking out for Coneyberry. But yeah, very, very happy to be together with dear Denny as they kind of take the first steps into their official relationship. My dear.
My goodness, thank you so much. Yes, as mentioned, Denny has had his hand in this business, but he's also been busy trying to expand his family's fashion empire, doing some dealings with towns nearby, and just getting out there, building up lots of different combinations of people that he can work with, and getting as many contacts as he can throughout the area, and is just wining and dining as many clients as he can find, and of course charging it all to the spending account.
And you mentioned, of course, Droop, who is the little goblin that was saved and adopted by the party here, who grows in season 3. Droop is hitting puberty. Droop is starting to have a little bit of an attitude. Droop is going to be very fun to play with, I think, this year. Droop is also taking a little bit from all of his parents. Mom for sure is Graja, but everybody is a trusted adult in Droop's life. And Droop is a little bit cleric and a little bit rogue. And as puberty has onset, some of that rage has started to set in. And there's some barbarian features that are making things loud sometimes in the house. That happens. Whimsy, talk to us about our mantled, shape-shifting Fae boy.
He has not been doing business. Whimsy does not have a head for business at all. Somehow he's sort of become a bit of a local politician, though. He's been following around town, basically trying to get favors from people by doing them favors. So just sort of a, now you owe me one. But most people in town just think he's a really nice guy who's helping the community. But he's low-key thinking he's like, haha, I've got him, now they owe me. But the fact that he's not an actual Fae means he can't force them to collect on that ever. So he's just going around being a nice guy. And they're like, now I owe you one. And he's like, excellent, but can't do anything with it. So he's just accidentally becoming the nicest guy in town.
Now, something else, as we went through our session 0 last week, something else, Amanda, that came up for Whimsy is known for pillaging all the books that can be found at any given site. And Amanda came to me last week and said, well, what secrets would I know? What lore would I have? For those of you this is not your first time, you know I'm not doing that level of prep. So instead, we have come up with our own little house mechanic here, where I gave Amanda a certain amount of quality secrets, not quality secrets, non-interesting things, or not secrets, but like tidbits, facts, and she's going to get to kind of cash them in at different times. Whimsy is going to get to trade those in. Whimsy, do you know how many of which it was? Because I did not write that down.
I wrote it down.
Can
Somewhere.
you read it with your contacts?
That's a good question.
Such the greatest question. This is why I'm going to write it down.
Paper right here.
Yeah.
That's okay. If
No. My stupid contacts that I can't see anything in.
this is my fault, 'cause I should have wrote it down. This is on me.
2 helpful, 1 very helpful, 3 kind of useless, 1 way off topic.
And you're not necessarily going to know which one is which. Is that what we decided? Or you're just going to say,
Yeah.
I'm trading in one, or you get to decide, I want this at this time?
I mean, we could assign numbers and have me roll a d20
We
or
could-
roll a
I'm
dice for
okay
it.
with you saying, I think this is when I'd like to know the very useful one, because I think also just as a mechanic, it kind of keeps us from spinning our wheels when it's not interesting to do so. But
Yeah,
I'll let
you've cross-referenced all these other papers, so
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
which ones are useful or not.
Yeah, I'll let you
Sometimes
trade them
during
in.
downtime when people just be like, you know what, I want to know something random and off topic. Tell me something weird.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you trade them in as needs be, depending on how interesting things are. The member of our party who's not here is 9, our human paladin, who has definitely been getting up to some training and is kind of the lead force in this merc effort that Garaja is doing the books for. Is out there doing the regular fighting, and Sean obviously is going to be better to come back and do justice to 9 next week. But he, I think, more than maybe the rest of you, has been, well, probably more than Whimsy, but Whimsy's probably the next most, has been leaving Coneyberry regularly, and would also regularly be getting involved with Jart to know what's going on. Jart would be able to tell the mercs like where to go and where to help and all of that. So we don't want to forget that. And then, of course, from season 2, we had Max. Max, our friend, who is running a booming real estate business in Coneyberry, and is going to be staying back and taking care of things should our heroes get called to leave the village, to leave the pocket dimension at any point. And with that, I think we're kind of probably ready to drop in and see what Jart has been up to. Because I'm not sure Amanda can see this, I'm producing tonight and I borked my Zoom, so chat is not open. So if you need to text me on Discord in case anything comes up. I just want to make sure that my whole crew knows that. Play with safety tools, friends. Also, there's an Idle Champions. I don't know where it is. It's over here, I think. I don't know. It's somewhere. There's an Idle Champions code. So if you play Idle Champions, thank you to Idle Champions for going and doing that. And with that, Jart, our Fire Genasi monk, you have been setting up this monastery. You have been organizing a place for your people to have a settlement on the Sword Coast, which is important, but also to train new people and to give refugees a place to be. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what Jart has been up to in the, I don't know, it's been at least a year since the cameras have seen her. Where has Jart been?
Yeah, well, Jared had a bit of an issue with the amount of killing that it took to be a hero. And instead, she wanted to kind of help out more and give back to the community for all of the people she killed. One of the first episodes, she killed like 10 goblins in one go. So she went back to her family. She went back to her main monastery after all the chaos and after all the damage, and shared her experience with the leaders, the elders of the monastery, and they decided it was a good idea to help everyone and to send a group of younglings with her to set up that new, like, smaller monastery. And they are training, and this is the first time they are training people that are not kind of her family. So this was a group of only fire genasis that were all kind of like blood related in some way, that were part of this order. So now the order has opened, and now it's taking people from every background to train with them. And they have they're basically doing like protection jobs for people to like relocate, go back to their farms, like do whatever they need to do. But they are spread out very thin because the damage is very big. The area is very large. And after a while, they have started to have issues. They started working with Graja and Nine and Denny, and now she's been getting, like, she's kind of the captain of that job there, and she's been getting like weird info. She decided to accompany a group of people herself. She hadn't done that in a while, and she faced very weird goblins, and she decided to not go back to the monasteries but to go to Coneybury and try to sort that out. So she's right now coming into Coneybury with her new look. She's very changed. She doesn't shave her head anymore. Still like 6 feet tall, very androgynous face, but now she wears like a center braid made out of like little braids, sides still shaved. Her hair is like manic panic orange, not like natural orange. um Orange eyes, wearing like the big roby thing, and she now carries like a big anime scythe in her back instead of her bow staff. Um, and she has to reassemble the crew because the people that she's working with, it's still very low level. They're very young, and they cannot handle this.
And Jart, as you have been traveling around, as you say, you have come in contact with these goblins, which, is not unusual in this part of the Sword Coast. And certainly the goblin and kind of bugbear and orc clans have really taken the chaos that is this area of kind of the between the high road and the Tribor Trail. They have really taken advantage of the fact that there is so much chaos going on, and they've been raiding settlements that normally they wouldn't. They are setting up whole areas where normally they wouldn't. And there is that has become common. But what is uncommon about these particular goblins is that they're not just running around with clubs and crossbows. These goblins, in fact, some of them don't even need weapons, because now this is wild. Who would believe this? But they seem to be able to move things with their minds. They seem to be able to set fires, not through magic, just by focusing. That's bizarre and speaks to something much bigger than the trouble that you and the Merc group have been able to handle in the past. The people are much more panicky if goblins have started to gain these powers. And one of the people who has come to aid and support you, Jart, is a dwarf by the name of Gwyn Orsong. Gwyn is kind of a cinnamon complexion. She has a raft of kind of curly hair that she keeps up in a fairly loose bun with multiple kind of quills sticking into it. She wears these half moon glasses and this very pale blue tunic that identifies her as a librarian from the great city of Neverwinter. She wears what would have been very stylish boots at one point, but are clearly, have not been kept up over the time. And she has a small pack of goods, but a huge pack of scrolls that like almost makes her look like a peacock with all of these scrolls that are poking out of this pack that she has. She isn't one to fight crime. She's not one to get her hands dirty. She does not go out on raids, but she definitely can help with the knowing of things. And one of the things that she does to gain more knowledge is she has this series of tattoos that if you weren't sure that this was impossible, one would assume by looking at them that they were crushed diamonds that had been tattooed in runes into her skin. And when she's concentrating to try and figure things out, whatever magic it is that she uses, they glow and glimmer and put off this kind of epic, beautiful, and haunting light on their own. She does have some fairly good knowledge. She knows she's been able to help you to understand that these goblins are not just randomly attacking settlements. These goblins have been attacking very specific places and not attacking, but actually kind of reconnaissance and recovering. There are 3 things that have gone missing, and it's not like a candelabra and this book and this knife with Miss Mustard in the library. No, these are pieces of other things. So one of them was a chunk that used to be in a well, like that a well was constructed around. It was like a big piece of stone. In fact, all of them are stone. Another one is it was a stone that was laid in as like a cornerstone of otherwise ruins. It wasn't like anybody was living there. And these stones are all black. You can tell by kind of almost the obsidian shards that have fallen off, as these goblins didn't have to lift the stone away, just kind of concentrated, and the stone floated, destroying and crumbling the structure around it, but then floated away as the goblins created a trail of chaos on their way out. They didn't just come in, take the stone, and leave. They set fire to shit and, terrorized a little town and whatever, or pasture where the cows were. In fact, one of them was it was kind of large. It was almost roughly trough shaped, and it was what a farmer had used to like store water for his sheep. These sheep are terrified, and it took a little bit of time to get them to calm back down. But these 3 stones, all black, almost obsidian, but the crystalline features don't totally match up. All of them are the stone. All of them have floated away with goblins nearby. And Gwen has been able to tell you a couple of things. First off, that these goblins, one of them was using an axe that was Duragar, old Duragar in construction. There's only a handful of places where the Duragar would have been nearby, so that definitely narrows down where you're looking for. As the 2 of you have been kind of looking into this for a little bit, the other thing that you have heard is that through a captured goblin, you were able at one point to, or your forces or the Merc group, whoever it was able to capture one of the goblins just before she expired. And she taunted the people who were trying to save her in order to, pump information from her. And she shared with her captors a name, Ruxithid. And as she was yelling at them in Goblin, the one of them who kind of roughly spoke, like had taken like up to grade 9 Goblin and then stopped, and so it was super rusty,
Travel goblin.
Right. Ruxithid apparently is the leader of their group. Their group is called the Sawplea Goblins. That's their family name, the Sawpleas. But interestingly, there was a word that was being shouted that wasn't in Goblin at all. So everybody in the group that was around heard the words. When describing Ruxathid, this goblin used the common tongue for big brain. That Ruxathid had been gifted a big brain by the mighty gods who would see their goblin family rise to be the greatest of all families in the Sword Coast. This is troubling, Jart. This is odd and strange and troubling. And with this information, you think it's probably time to go in and talk to your friends and see what's going on. Gwyn doesn't know about Coneyberry, has never been to Coneyberry, so she offers to stay behind at the monastery. But you make your way. Stanfield welcomes you. You have been a common visitor into the space, and you head to the quarter of town that is the shield between the dimensions is the thinnest at this point because it is entirely new. Because your friends and you have been so successful at bringing people into this space, you this new quarter of town has had to be created, this extra dimensional space forced into existence to house all of the people that your friends have been responsible for, which largely has taken on a huge amount of work for Denny and Max in housing everybody, managing everybody, making sure that needs are being met and that people are integrating well into Coneyberry society. And this quarter is where you find a fairly modest house for people who are very well known in this large city. This is your found family from long ago, and also who still are. You hear yelling as you approach the door, and you see the door slam. That's never a good sign. And soon, running around the corner, Droop bumps into you, and he is just his little tusks have really started to sprout, and he is flush dark green in the face. He's a little bit sweaty. His feet look way too big to be his own as he's starting to grow a little bit more. And he slams into you with a bit more force than you're used to. Little fella has been maybe exercising with Uncle Nine and getting a little bit swole. And he's like, oh, sorry. Oh, Chart, Mom is so angry. I hate her. I don't. I love her. But I should be allowed to go do the things that I want to do.
I'm gonna kneel to at his same height. And what it is that you want to do?
Things. She doesn't let me do any of the things. And this is not fair. And I am a
Why
big
don't you
boy.
take a deep breath? Just like breathe in, breathe out, and let me know what things do you want to do. Maybe I can convince her.
You guys get to go do all kinds of cool stuff. And like, I know how to do stuff. I can heal stuff. Like if you have like a boo-boo right now, I could totally heal that. But she won't let me even go. She won't even let me go and like get better at things. And how am I supposed to contribute to this family if she doesn't even let me, peel potatoes? I could get hurt peeling potatoes, Mom. And he kind of shouts it back towards the house.
I'm gonna put like my hand on his head and kind of like mess up with his hair and be like, okay, how about when we finish what we need to finish here, I take you to the monastery for a couple months so you can train.
Droop grabs you around the neck and just hugs you, and you can feel like the starting of little, like, you're not sure if it's sweat or tears, but something is uncomfortably wet and warm against your like neck area. And he just goes, I knew that you would always be the coolest. And I'm just, yeah, okay, that's great. I'm gonna go and meet my friends. Thanks. Tell mom that I'm going with you. Okay. And
Okay.
and
I
and
just
he
laugh and stand up.
he goes running off, almost like eats shit a couple of times. He's like still learning how to move in this new body that he has. And you do notice as he's running away that he's not wearing it on the outside, but that he has a dagger that he has started to carry with him. Uh, there is no crime in Coneyberry. There is no reason for him to be carrying a weapon around with him. But, this is the age, and
Yeah.
and there you are. So you see the home of your family in front of you, your friends and your family in front of you. You are welcome to go in if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna knock just so I don't get maybe like a dagger thrown at me by Graja or something.
Yeah, Garaja will go get the door. And so she opens it and her eyes get really wide. She's like, Jart, you're really here.
It was about time that I came visit you guys.
I missed you so much.
I give her a hug.
Yeah, I give you like a big hug for sure. And I kind of like look past Jart for a second and I'm like, did Drew go to meet his friends?
Yeah, he is. He's also carrying a dagger with him just under his pants.
I told him that he can't use it unless I'm there or Nine's there to watch him. I told him that so many times. There's nothing he doesn't. Okay, I mean, it's fine. Okay.
I think we've all done stupid things in our youth. He deserves a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the balance, but I just don't want anything to happen to him. He's already been through so much before any of us came to meet him. Like, he went through a lot, and I want him to just enjoy being a kid.
I think the worst thing that can happen to him is that he cuts his own hand trying to show off with the dagger, which thankfully he can cure. So I don't think it's that bad.
That's a good point. He can heal it. Anyway, please, come in. Do you need anything to drink or eat?
I brought something and I'm gonna pull up some family wine because we know every monk in the world makes alcoholic beverages for some reason.
Yeah.
Boring in a monastery.
Uh,
Thank you so much. I can't wait to show Denny.
how is it going between you two?
And Graja like definitely like the blush like spreads. And she says, it's going really well, I think. It's nice to really be together, we're learning together and just, about each other and I think it's going really well, but we can ask him too, of course.
Oh yeah, I bet like 3 cups in we're gonna know the truth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, well, DM, are Denny and Whimsy here in the house as well?
Yeah, I'd assume it's kind of the middle of the day. Business is to be done. Whimsy might be kind of out in the backyard with the wolves, but is definitely around. I would say the Nine and Max are not here. They have gone to kind of help resettle a new family that just came in last night. So they're not around, but the other two definitely are.
Okay. Nikki, where would Denny be, do you think, in the house right now?
Well, if you crack that bottle of wine open, he'll be there right now. But
Graja will
otherwise
do that. She'll take the
summon
cork out of the
Danny.
wine. Yeah. She takes
Danny
that
just
out,
appears
yeah.
at the top of the stairs. Oh my
Oh!
goodness. Oh my goodness,
Danny.
Jart.
Yeah,
How good
Jart's
to
really
see you.
here.
I came for the wine and found you. That's excellent. Oh my goodness. And Denny's also gonna give Jart a big hug, but being that he's much shorter than her, isn't gonna be able to lift her off the ground in a bear hug like Graja did. But he's gonna give it
Very
he's gonna give it his all.
Yeah.
Graja takes
Tippy toe.
the wine and goes to like the kitchen and pours a glass for Denny and brings it back and hands it to Denny.
Oh, and in the big glass, you know me so well. Thank you, my dear.
Of course, I knew you'd like this. It's from Jart's family.
Oh, I didn't know that you made wine. That is very good to know. I might have to add that to the cellar stores. Do you guys do wholesale?
It's rather rare that we bring it out, but yeah, I can get you a few bottles.
Excellent, excellent. We'll talk details later on that. What brings you to town?
I guess good news and bad news, as usual. The good news is that I'm very happy to see you all, and you all seem to be doing great here. The bad news is that we now have goblins that move things with their minds.
What? How much of this wine have you had?
None yet.
Okay.
And I wish I was drunker when I figured it out.
Wait,
Oh.
let me go get Lindsay. I think he's out back with the wolves. So Graja like goes back to the back door and to get Lindsay.
Yeah, I'd say as soon as you open the door, like a pack of wolves falls in because they heard new voices and had to come investigate. So like 5 wolves dogpile onto you as you open the door, and then Whimsy saunters over.
And then Graja like greets them all by name and gives them like little like scratches as they go past.
Do you remember their names?
Was it one named Kevin?
It's Kyle.
Kyle, okay.
Kyle.
Kyle, sorry,
Yeah.
Kyle. Apologies to Kyle.
They all have horrible names because they have actual wolf names, but Whimsy doesn't like to tell other people's names.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He
maybe
made up
Graja gets like
exciting new names.
50% of them right, maybe. And Graja says after the wolves go past, she's like, Jart's here.
We heard! And Whimsy like runs past and tackle hugs. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Well, tell us more about these goblins. Oh, Whimsy, to catch you up. Goblins are psychic now. So you know.
Our goblin or other goblins?
No,
Well,
not Droop. Thank
not
goodness.
Droop.
My God, I don't know what
Oh,
I'd do
yeah.
then.
Because I've been thinking things that boy should not hear.
Not that kind of psychic. Moving things with their mind psychic.
Oh, that's fine then.
Although also maybe that. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know much. So I'm gonna pull up from my backpack basically a map of the area, and I'm gonna extend it on a desk and basically share the information. We've had several attacks, but like the main ones have been here, here, and here. And apparently they just think and start fires. They can move like huge ass rocks with their mind. And we've kind of faced some of them, and they seem to be way stronger than regular goblins. And it seems it's just like one family, one pack that are doing all of this. So with all of the chaos that we've been trying to kind of like settle down, this is the last thing we need, is to be dealing with psychic goblins and the roads.
I feel like I thought I was just starting to understand magic. Like, Nine gets it from Lysander, and Denny learned spells, and Whimsy gets it from his dad. I thought I understood, but this is something different entirely.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's magic.
Raja's looking over the map that Jart rolled out. Is there anything in common, a pattern that sticks out about these locations that the mind goblins have hit?
There doesn't seem to be, other than I mean, it's not like they form a triangle or anything like that.
Yeah.
They they're not necessarily correlated closer to one of the suspected, like, you know that there is something to do with like a Duragar site, that it's very unlikely that the goblins are in cahoots with Duragar, and these Duragar weapons that were found are very old and crumbly, so it wasn't like they were being made for them. And so when you kind of cross-reference, or when Gwyn was able to cross-reference Duragar sites to what these shards, these stones are missing, they it's not an obvious pattern to you. There is two locations that seem to be fairly close to the first one that was hit. There's two different Duragar entrances, or areas, and the way that Whimsy, I think you would have researched enough of the history of the area to know that this was one Duragar family, that it was two sisters who were coming up and fought with each other, and so they split up, and one group kind of splintered away from the other group and built, just kind of on the other side of a little valley, their own settlement. But both settlements have been long abandoned, as far as you know. And then there's a third one that's kind of further away, but much more secluded, not near where anybody would. The thing, Whimsy, that really kind of stands out to you about that is that it's not really where anybody would have noticed if there were goblins training new mind powers. This is an area that isn't close to human settlements. It, in fact, you kind of get the understanding from texts that the area had such a deep curse, or some kind of negative connotation on the land itself, was so poisonous to people, that by and large, human or kind of sentient settlements have largely stayed away. Even kind of like giants don't settle there. The land is almost, it's not poisoned in like the literal sense, but there is definitely something fucky about it.
Whimsy shares that tidbit with the group. But I think I'm going to test my random knowledge, and I want an utterly useless off-topic thing about that same area, just so no one reads too much into Whimsy's good knowledge.
About the poison area?
Yeah. Just something completely nothing to do with anything about that area.
It
So
used
he's
to be a
like,
shopping
"But
mall.
here's some vital, important information about it. But also, do you know that they're known?"
Interestingly, this area is known for a very specific mineral that dyes things almost like a bright fluorescent pink, because of the algae that grows in the hot springs in that area. It's used for clothing dye and hair dye, but can be quite toxic to anybody who has green eyes. Not sure
So Whimsy
why
shares
that's true,
that
but
with the group while like finger gunning at Denny. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
Raja
yeah.
looks at Denny as well.
Denny perks right up on that one.
entire area is cursed and low-key radioactive, but also hot pink dye.
Well, if we go and check this out, which it's sounding more and more like we should probably go and check this out, do remind me when we're there so I can get some just to see if we can negate that green eye incident. I don't want to have to make people promise to not buy my clothing if they have green eyes. That seems like a risk I don't want to take.
I'm sure you can figure it out. You're really smart.
Oh, my dear, thank you so much. I feel like you are more beautiful than I am smart, but I appreciate it very much.
Garaja kicking her legs and twisting her hair. Okay, well, goblins with mind control in these areas that the land is really bad. There's like a dye. It feels like we just dealt with the Kragmaws, and now we got another big family coming. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go check one of these places out, maybe. Or is there any other Jard? Is there any other specifics about the goblins or the places that you know? Have anybody at the monastery been hurt?
Hurt, yes. Dead, no, thankfully.
Okay, good.
But we captured one at some point, or they captured one at some point, and it talked about having a gift from the gods that was a big brain about their leader. And we know their family name, which is the Sawpleys, but that's basically it. What it's making me crazy is that they stole some rocks, and some rocks that didn't have any value, whatever they were. Like, if this 3 attacks, they grabbed some rocks that were black and had some detailed engravings, but nothing like complete. They were partials. So my concern is that they might be building something or rebuilding something, which, if they were just attacking and pillaging, we might just like let it slide. But those rocks give me just a bad vibe. I don't know if it's like a portal or a magic-y thing, or but whatever goblins are building is very specific to those rocks.
I mean, it's all too weird to just be some kind of coincidence, and we don't really know what all these goblins can be capable of. If they're organizing in such a way, they have mind powers, they have these bits of rock that you're talking about. Obviously, there's some kind of greater purpose here, I think. So it's definitely worth us looking into. The Sword Coast has enough problems as it is. If we can take care of this early, maybe we can stop any more hurt from coming from this.
Yeah, I really thought about it. I didn't want it to just like come in and get you out of your homes and your businesses and your life, but there's very few people left that it's qualified to deal with mind controlling goblins or whatever they are.
As Najra is saying, or as Jart's saying that she's like sorry to be pulling us out of our comfortable life, Whimsy's like shaking out the portable hole, digging out his backpack and his travel gear. Like, Whimsy is ready to go. You're like, oh, I'm so sorry to drag you away from your comfortable home. And Whimsy's just like packing a bag, getting my stuff. Where's my stick? There's my stick. Like, packing up to go. Like, Whimsy's already out the door, like, let's go. Adventure time.
Bring your friends. Yeah, the dog's already halfway down the path. They're gone.
Yeah.
I feel like Garage is kind of the opposite here, where when she's like realizing that this is something that's going to require her attention specifically, like she's going to have to go and see this and try try to figure this out. She kind of has a lingering glance towards Denny. She looks back towards, or if it's in eye shot, Droop's room. She kind of like is thinking about this and maybe has like a slightly worried look on her face. And I think there is some like a little bit of a different fear here, not just like because of her loved ones, but because of the mind aspect of these goblins. Graja knows, like, I don't have the most smarts, and so is this something that's going to be beyond her ability to figure out? But she tries to kind of like internally take solace in the fact that like she's surrounded by a lot of capable people, and that together hopefully they can figure this out without too much chaos. So Graja kind of looks at everyone. She's like, well, I guess we should start preparing to go figure this out. And I think Graja looks at Denny. You don't think Stanfield would know anything about this stuff? I just think maybe, he's got an ear to the ground a lot of the times for stuff around Conyberry. I don't know, he'd know something.
A very good suggestion, my dear. We should definitely ask him. I think we should probably wait till tomorrow to leave. Maybe get the dogs back, Whimsy. But on our way out of town, maybe we can ask him. That's a very good idea.
I guess Droop. I'll have to find someone to check on Droop. I guess because I'm gonna have to leave. So I don't know.
And Garage is kind of going through her Rolodex of like neighbors and people that can like or friends that Droop can stay with and stuff.
Chart. Would you give me a perception check? First roll, new campaign.
Okay. Oh, it's bad. It's an 8.
Oh no.
Oh no.
As Graja is like, oh, who am I going to get to babysit Droop? There's just this little nagging feeling in the back of your brain, like this is going to be a problem. Droop is not going to want to be left behind. Whether or not you choose to say anything to Graja based on the conversation you had with Droop, that's up to you.
Yeah, well, I talked to Droop on the way in, and he really wants to go adventuring now.
I know. I know he wanted to go adventuring. I don't know that he's ready yet. I mean, yeah, he's been training with 9 and learning his magic and with the weapons and everything, but we don't know what we're dealing with here. This isn't a bunch of Cragmaw goblins ambushing our cart anymore. This is a different situation entirely. I don't know that I can bring him in on this one specifically. Maybe if I say that he can go on another mission later, that might work to make him feel better in the meantime.
I told him he could go train to the monastery after we're done with this. At least for a month. But
yeah, maybe.
I have a sneaking suspicion that if we ask him, if he knows we are leaving, he is going to follow us, which is going to be more dangerous than if we take him and put him in the middle of all of us. I don't know.
I think you're right.
You're right. I know you're right. I know
He's
that
getting
once he knows
wily.
we're gonna leave.
I've been noticing him sneak around. I think he's practicing. I can see him getting shredded cheese from the kitchen, but I don't think he knows that I can see him getting shredded cheese from the kitchen.
I have to buy a new bag of shredded cheese every day. And it's like the big ones, by the way, not the small ones, but the big ones that you get for an entire family when you're making your scrambled eggs for the week.
The fantasy Costco's out of cheese.
Can the wolves? Can I roll like a perception check to see if Whimsy can spot Droop around? Because he does have a habit of like sneaking and listening.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll a perception check. The dogs are like panting at the window and like looking back and forth and jumping up onto the window and looking down and then jumping back down. And every once in a while you see Droop's head like pop up and like trying to shoo the wolves away. The wolves have given him up. He is listening to the whole thing.
Yeah. We might have to bring the cub with us. At this point, there's no way he's not coming.
I know you're worried, but don't worry. We will make sure. I think it's time. I think he has proved himself that he wants to do this. I think he's ready. I think it's time.
If you
We'll
think
be
so,
there
Denny,
all the
then
way.
I trust that. I think I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of ground rules. I'll have to think
Yes.
about that tonight. Just so there's at least some kind of structure and he's not just running off.
Yes, definitely a buddy system for Droop, I think.
But it
For
would be
that.
good to have extra healing, I guess.
Okay, so tonight, what? We drink, we pack our bags, we get ready, and where's Nine? On a mission?
He's helping there's a new family that came into town, so he was helping them get settled. Him and Max were working on it.
You get most
Okay.
of the way through that sentence, Graja. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh God. Okay.
What?
All right. I get +1 on save, so there's that at least. Oh Lord. That's gonna be a big 12.
12 is no shame.
Okay.
You feel a sharp bite of metal kind of right into your shoulder blade as Droop is like running up to hug you from behind, leapfrogging over the wolves. He totally has forgotten that he has his dagger and it has like stabbed you like not much. It's just a baby stab like into your shoulder blade as he's like hugging you from behind me like, "Thanks, Mom. Mom, I swear you're not going to regret this. I'm going to be like the best.
Ow.
It's going to be the best.
Ow.
I'm so going to protect you."
Ow. Yeah. I'll be glad to have you with us, Drew. Just you gotta watch your dagger, okay? Like you gotta make
Do
sure
not
it's in the
lift him.
sheath.
Yeah, you lift him and it's almost like as the dagger like pulls out of Graja's shoulder muscle. There's definitely a little twitch there. And
Ow.
for a second, Droop's like, oh, and he just like pushes a hand out and casts a healing spell onto Graja, and you're fine. The 1 point is fully healed. He knows to leave the scar. He's like been through it. He knows every scar is an honorable scar. Even though he wishes that he couldn't leave this one because he's super embarrassed now, but
Well, we're gonna add that to the ground rules. The dagger stays in the sheath. All right.
okay, yeah.
Unless you mean to use it, dagger in sheath.
Right. Okay. Yes, I will go find that. I need to clean my room. We're not leaving till tomorrow, right? It's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we'll have time to prepare tonight
Okay,
before
okay,
we go
okay.
tomorrow, yes.
He goes racing up the stairs. You guys
Well,
hear him fall.
while he goes up, I'm gonna throw my water whip and just catch the dagger and pull it back and say, "You gotta earn this back."
Okay. Yeah. I'll find my. Don't worry. I'll find my sheath and then I'll have it. Okay. And he like continues up the stairs.
Okay.
You guys.
And we have to have a short talk before we go, okay? Later tonight. Just a short talk, you and I, okay?
Yeah, sure, Mom. Whatever.
The door.
You guys hear
That was a good move.
rumbling.
That was a good move, Nadra. That was a good move with the dagger there. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, at least for one night. He's not gonna stop anyone or himself.
Yeah.
The boy does get very excited, and I don't blame him.
Well, amazing parents, an amazing town, and adventure, I guess.
It'll be very fun going back out into the field. It's been a very long time since I've been out of this town for adventuring purposes. So I'm weirdly excited about it, even though it's gonna be very hard not having a very hot bath every single day. That's gonna be kind of a bummer, but you know,
Well, I can
sacrifices
some
must
of
be made.
some of your oils and stuff so that we can like try to work something out for when we're on the road. So at least you can have water that smells nice.
Again, a fantastic idea. Thank you, my dear.
Of course.
Just don't
Um,
forget the walking boots. We don't want to deal with that. Like no fancy heels.
Just what little fancy heels? Can I have this big heels?
A kitten heel.
Okay. Very well. I will leave the stilettos at home. Apart from the daggers, I'll bring those.
Yeah.
Roger
Good.
can duck if you need to kiss.
Yeah, Denny runs and
Yeah.
grabs like a step stool and then at Noshra at
Carry me.
Uppies.
Yeah.
Uppies. Basically, yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that TikTok. I'm
Oh
so
my
Don't think I'm
god,
not making
yeah.
that immediately.
Okay, sweet.
Also, just out of character really quick, I apologize if when I'm talking you guys can hear any fireworks in the background. I live really close to a Sikh temple and it's Diwali tonight, so
Oh
there's
yeah, that's
Oh,
a
right.
lot of bangs going on out there, so sorry if that comes
But
across on the
it
mic.
doesn't. I don't listen. I don't hear it. I think.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
But happy Diwali,
Um,
everybody. Yeah, so the night kind of goes through. You guys hear Nine crawl in at a late hour. Getting things settled is always arduous, and you guys know Nine likes to kind of stay and make sure everybody feels very comfortable and has everything they need. And Nine then got roped into like helping another family move some furniture around, and Nine has a problem saying no, I think, to people who are requesting help. And so Nine went around helping everybody that could be helped and comes in the very early hours. Is so excited to see you, Jart. I mean, sees you probably more often than the rest of them, but gives you a good hug and gets the news. Is fully on board. And is there anything that you all need before we get ready to leave Coneyberry? Any provisions that you're looking for? Any research you want to do? What is it that you're prepping before you leave tomorrow?
I did want to see if I could get a quick convo in with Stanfield just to see if he has any additional intel.
Yeah, absolutely. You go and he's in his office where, he is sorting through stacks of paperwork that are, I mean, it's not like he delays paperwork. He's inefficient worker. There's a lot going on. And he does share with you that he, one of the liquor makers in town was quite angry because they had signed a new contract with an inn kind of out on the Tribor Trail, and the inn had been invaded as soon as you mentioned kind of goblins with crazy powers. He says, "Oh yeah, the sleeping giant, Listen, they were so upset, okay, because we had a big contract. This was supposed to be a big new place for us to put our new liquors into. And, of course, the first night they're having this big party to celebrate the launch, and these goblins come in and take the giant and like destroy everything and the liquor's all gone. How is that even right? Like nobody bothered to save the liquor. I mean, it was there for I am they're never getting in here. I'm disgusted by people priorities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely important. Wow. They just trashed the place and took the liquor?
No, they might have also taken some of the liquor. I know they broke a lot of the liquor because the sleeping giant sent us back crates of broken bottles. Like, what am I going to do with broken glass? I mean, we did recycle it and turn it into new bottles, but that's besides the point. Listen, the goblins took the giant.
The giant. Oh, right, okay.
It's ridiculous.
Huh.
They didn't even
Yeah.
have the goods. I don't even know if they took the. Now I'm upset that they didn't take the liquor. Like, clearly they don't. I mean, I know they're goblins, but some goblins have really great taste. These goblins know nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. Thanks for letting me know. I'm definitely gonna look into some stuff around this, so hopefully maybe get some info for you later. But um, anything else with these goblins that you know of, or any weird reports coming in from people around town?
I know that the goblins, the one was able to like take the giant, and apparently like with his mind, that's what you were saying that I totally knew about. But the other ones, like there was two that in order to get the giant free, they had to like break some of the stuff around it, and apparently their weapons did some stuff that they shouldn't have been able to do. Like, you know me, I know magic weapons. I know magic weapons. I know things about magic.
Yeah, you're the
okay?
guy. You're the guy. Yeah.
And
That's-
this is different. This is like it like melted the wood, like melted it, like a wax
Okay.
candle where, and it not even like it left soot, like one of those like low VOC wax candles. You know what I'm saying? And like it was just the bar was there and then the bar was gone, and so the giant was free.
Wow. Okay, just gets weirder and weirder, huh?
Right? Like, what does that to wood? I've never. I know
Me
weapons that cut
neither.
wood. This is not that.
Okay. Right. Well, me and me and the crew are heading out tomorrow to investigate some of the stuff with the goblins. Do you need anything from us before you leave?
If you go by there and you find that they have any whole bottles, I need to invoice them for that. So I want to know if they were able. They told us it was 100% loss, like full. They're claiming total loss on the insurance waiver. I want to know if anything survived. They need to pay for that.
Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely keep an eye out. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, look. Don't get melted by the wood melting weapons if you're gonna be out there, okay?
And Graja kind of like you like Samuel can see like all her muscles like in her upper body like flex, and she's like,
It's gonna take more than a weapon to melt me.
Yeah, listen, there is one other thing. Look, I didn't want to say anything to you. Is Droop going with you?
there's like a beat, and then Garage is like,
Yeah, Drew's gonna come along this time.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. I caught him. You know, kids are going to be kids, and I know that you are trying to raise that kid right. He and a couple of the other kids were carving into some of the sandstone in the bazaar. And, it's fine. I made them like clean it up and repack it. But, he's not very bright, that one. He carved his own name. I'm just saying, teach him how to do things better, Like, don't put your actual name.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll make sure that as much as I can that he doesn't do that again. He can't be that brazen.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's not a problem. We can fix it. But if he's going out there in the world and leaving his actual, like, name and address, that's like, come on.
Him and I are gonna have a talk before we go on the road. We're gonna set some rules, so hopefully I can set him straight.
All right. And then he still has like 30 hours of community service he owes me when he gets back.
Oh yeah, I'll mark it down in our planner. It'll get done.
All right. Thanks again, Graja. There's 2 carts of new goods for your people. For the quarter, you can take those at any time. And he there's some more like official correspondence and paperwork, some like invoices here and there for different things. There's always business to be done when you're seeing Stanfield.
Sure.
You're able to find some good information.
Okay, great. That's perfect. So yeah, Graja will just return back to the house after seeing Stanfield.
And so as Graja kind of fills, Graja, are you going to share with everybody, or are you just sharing with, is this just little pillow talk with Denny, wrapping up the day, sharing what you heard from Stanfield, or are you sharing with everybody?
I'm gonna share with everyone because like she wants everybody to have the most intel possible. So I think Jart said something about, oh, we'll drink a little bit. So maybe over the drinks that they have later on in the evening, once everybody's kind of like done their major preparation, she shares all of that stuff that Stanfield said. She maybe doesn't tell them about the droop thing though. She doesn't say anything about that because she's embarrassed.
That's all of our fun.
Yeah. We need to teach Droop to do better crime. Jart's gonna try to, I don't know how much gold do I have, but I'm gonna try to buy, trade, or I don't know if I brought any potions because we know we need them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're known as part of kind of this larger extended family, and so you can buy on the family credit. It's no problem. We'll say for kind of, the sake, and also I would imagine that the Merc group probably keeps some potions in stock, in kind of a storeroom at some point. So that's no problem. I can look and figure out what kind of healing. I
Okay.
assume that you're looking for healing potions.
Yeah, healing
Can
potions.
can everybody give me just a roundup from your inventory really quick? Hey, thank you, D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond, everybody. Our go-to character sheet for 3 seasons running.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting public school teachers, D&D Beyond. Can everybody look through your inventory and tell me what potions do you all have is my question, because you guys also have some like fancy potions, some homebrew shit that I've been giving out for the last couple seasons, and I'm curious what it is.
I do not have any potions
You don't have
in
any
my
potions?
no.
I have one fate die from season 1.
I have a
Oh,
healer's kit, but not a potion.
the Christmas present from season 1. Yeah, a fate die. You get to re-roll anything at any point. Ooh, fancy, fancy. Okay. Graja, sorry, what did you say?
So yeah, no potions. I have a healer's kit, but and some other kind of random stuff, but not any potions that I have in my inventory.
Okay. Denny, do you have anything?
I've got 3 healing potions, but that's it.
Just regular healing potions, do you think?
Yeah, it just says potion of healing. I've also got a vial of perfume, but that's the only liquid goods I carry.
Okay. Whimsy, I don't know if you're able to read yours. I can look at your character sheet. And Nine, I don't know.
Wimpy has an aquamarine mana potion.
Oh yeah. Mana
Oh
potion.
yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Do you know what that does yet?
My note says get Sarah to send details.
Cool. A mana potion is a homebrew that I have. It restores a spell slot.
Which
Oh,
for a
love it.
warlock,
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
real
not,
though.
not nothing, not nothing. I'm just looking through
also random other
Sean's.
shit I have is the summon banshee. I can still summon Agatha,
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's
gossip-loving
also
banshee friend.
awesome.
That's season 1 thing.
Yeah.
I want to say Whimsy has her over sometimes just to spill the tea because she loves gossip. So I want to say Whimsy just randomly is like, guys, we're having Agatha over. Get your best tea. Like, let's do this.
Agatha has been a little bit more rare since Graja and Denny started hooking up because Agatha feels a little bit, kind of turned down from Graja. But
Oh yeah, I forgot
yeah,
about that.
there was a whole side
I
plot with that.
forgot.
9 has a potion of greater healing as well. 9 also has his dig deep. 9 hasn't used his dig
Oh
deep yet.
snap. Oh,
Ooh,
that's
okay.
good.
Yeah, it's no problem. We'll say that from the storage group that you have, Graja, for the Merc group, you guys can take 4 greater healing potions.
Sweet.
Just
Yeah.
one each.
One, if you want to take them one each. I don't know if you want to give one to 9, but there's 4 or Droop, but there's 4 to be had. 9 has one, so there's that. And if I'm not totally mistaken, just about a year ago in real world time, you met 2 traveling people on the road and you guys got some fancy shit. You guys each got
Yes.
something that did something.
I have a clockwork goldfish.
A clockwork
Oh.
goldfish. Love it.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I have a giant dead scarab.
Yep. Okay. Fantastic. Denny, do you remember what you got?
No, it's not on my sheet. It's probably in a notebook somewhere and I just didn't take it over.
Okay.
Where's my thing? There we go.
I mean, we've also got it on YouTube. Hey, if you're trying to catch up for us here at our season 3 premiere, the Vancouver by Night YouTube is where you can go to catch the first 2 seasons and Jart's ugly death that had us all in tears.
So
That was
sad.
harsh.
Be prepared for that
So
one.
sad.
Okay, that's great. So with that all being said, is there anything else that you all need or would like to be prepared? Sean, I know you're in chat if there's anything that you want for 9. Otherwise, we'll do a little bit of a retcon to start next session and you can prep anything else.
Mine's just narrative. I just want to have the little conversation with Drew, but otherwise my preparations are done.
You at some point you hear like the rumbling of dresser drawers and stuff go quiet, and you hear some like giggling and a body flop onto a bed, and you sense that he has maybe started to calm down for the evening.
And before I enter his room, I actually approach Denny and I'm like,
Hey, would you mind just coming with me to talk to Drew? You don't have to say anything if you don't want, but it'd just be nice to have you next to me.
And not even saying a word, Denny's just gonna take one of her hands in his and just like clasp it with the other one. Like, of course, my dear, of course.
Okay.
And you can see Graja, like a little bit of relaxation comes over her, just a little bit of untightening of the shoulders. So she walks into Drew's room. She knocks on his door. She almost thinks about just pushing in, but she's like, knock.
You hear like the spring and straw of the bed kind of jostle a little bit. Come in.
Thank you.
And she pushes the door open.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, and he's sitting up, and you see he's got like 4 backpacks on the bed.
Are you bringing all of those?
Well, I just wasn't sure, like, if we meet anyone like cool, I wanted to have some outfit options, but but also like I brought lots of food because I know how much the wolves like to eat, and I just thought it's better to be prepared, right? That's what you always say, Mom, better to be prepared.
Yeah, no, we definitely always want to be prepared for sure. We have to cut it down a little bit because there's only so much we can carry.
Right, right. Okay.
I know. I want you to feel your best in your outfits and everything, but this is a real adventure now. We have to think about, and you were right to think about the wolves and them having stuff to eat. That was a good thought you had, but we just have to travel a little bit lighter.
Right, right. Okay, so maybe not all of the. Oh, hey, Denny. So not the 2 bags of wine for Denny. Okay, no probs.
No, not that. Now again, that was really nice of you to think of that, but no, we don't need it this time.
Oh,
Who sold
okay,
you the
okay.
wine? You're underage.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to be helpful, like, because I know that it's like a really big deal that you guys are letting me come with you, and so I just thought I could be like extra helpful because I know these are your favorites.
I'm so thankful for you, Droop. You're such a good boy, and you have a fantastic choice of costumes here. They're all fantastic. But I only travel with like 8 costumes. I think you should probably only one. I think we can let you have one. And he kind of like glances at Graja. But I think
Graja
for your
nods.
first time, you're probably not going to need more than that.
Oh, I mean,
And
well,
if something comes up, I can always make you something on the fly. Don't worry.
well, okay, yeah. I mean, that'd be better because then like it'll be like for the right season, and like I could get
Exactly.
something custom. Okay. Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
I packed the armor, and I should wear the armor. Ah, stupid. I should wear the armor. I know. Come on, Droop. You know this.
Hey, don't be too hard on yourself. It's your first time coming out, so we all will have to learn. So I did just want to talk to you before we left on the adventure to just I know you don't want necessarily more rules and everything, but just a couple of things to help keep you safe because we're entering uncharted territory here. We're not necessarily sure what to expect. None of us, and she's like gesturing to herself and Denny, we don't necessarily know what kind of danger we're gonna see there. So we just need to be cautious on this adventure. So in terms of what I'm talking about, I just mean you sticking with one of the people in the party. Don't go too far from any one of us. Especially if we're in battle.
Yeah. No, I
And
mean, yeah. Like like Uncle Nine was teaching me. So like I go and Kyle lets me sit on him, and because his fur is really big, so it kind of covers me, and so like I can like lay down on Kyle. It's not as much anymore because I'm getting a little bit bigger, but like I used to be able to. And then and then I can like pop up and like surprise stab people.
yeah, you're really good at that.
Yeah.
I and that will be a good way. But the other thing I wanted to say is that if things are getting really, really dangerous, and you know the things to look out for, Nine has taught you, we've all taught you about looking out for danger. But if things are looking really, really scary,
Oh, don't worry, Mom. I know. Save everybody, be the last one out. I know. I've watched you and Uncle Nine so much. Like, I know how to do this.
And Graja kind of like gets down to his level, even though I'm sure there's still a huge differential. She's like, kind of like grasps him gently, like on the sides of his like upper arms, and is just like,
yeah, I mean, of course we want to save everybody, but what I was gonna say is that if things get way too dangerous, I want you to run and hide.
So that I can pop out later and stab people?
Maybe, but it's more that so that I know you're going to be safe if things start to get really scary, that you can just fall back. Retreating is part of the battle process, right? You learned that.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes it can be, but like, I mean, if things are really bad, then that's when I'm the most needed.
Yeah, I mean, with your healing powers, that's, that is helpful, but I don't.
And Grudge is really like faltering here. She's like trying to communicate something that she's like still grappling with, and she's like,
I just don't want anything to happen to you. I know that's a risk when we go out on an adventure together, that there's danger to both you and I and Denny and Jart and Whimsy and Nine, all of us, even the wolves. But I just don't want anything to happen to you. It's my job to look after you and make sure that you're healthy and safe. And that's my priority, not saving everybody. It's saving the people that I love and keeping you safe. Does that make sense?
And he looks at you for a second, and there is this flash of, give me an insight check.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you do it with advantage because you two have built like a really close relationship. You know him very well at this point. I'll let you do this with advantage.
I
Roll to
appreciate
figure out
that.
what a teenager is thinking.
Oh Lord. Okay. Thank God for advantage. Okay, that's actually a 19.
You see this look of, it's a couple things that happen very quickly. There is this look of sadness that you and Droop both share an equal measure of the fact that his biological family didn't look out for him the way that you do. And that when you see it, you recognize it because you struggled with some of those same things growing up with your family. And then there is also this look at the same time that is almost a little bit of frustration because, yes, he's younger than the rest of you. He understands that he, to you guys, is still a kid. He would argue and will argue that, he's not a baby anymore, but that you all came together and became this family that looks after each other and supports each other, and that you guys saved him from the people that were doing bad things to him, but that if you all get to be equal partners, he wants that too. He wants to look after you all in the same way that you all look after him. And he understands that he's younger. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to be treated like a baby anymore. You see this like, this is a young person on the verge of figuring out who they are and growing into adulthood. And in some way there is obviously like this sadness as a parent of like, oh man, I'm not ready for my child to grow up. But I think there is also kind of this pride that, that you guys have raised Droop right, and how different his arc is of where he is versus where he would have been. And he knows that you see it all when you see it. And so instead of saying anything, he just puts his arm around you and pulls you in really close. And he hugs you really, really tightly. And you just hear him say, Mom, we're all going to look out for each other. And if things get really bad, I won't put myself in danger, but I'm not going to let anything happen to you guys and not do anything about it. And if that means that I can't go, I understand. but I couldn't just come back here knowing that I could have done something and I didn't.
And Graja like lets the force of that hug like just let him like grab her as tight as she wants, and she like hugs him back, and she's like, and then kind of like pulls herself away, and she's like,
You're right. I trust you, and I'm going to be counting on you on this adventure.
Okay. Thanks, Mom. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Listen, goblins, maybe these guys are just like me, and maybe they just need to know that they don't have to do this.
Graja wants to believe that that's possible, but in reality is kind of like, I don't think this is a situation where we're going to be able to negotiate. But she's like, but she kind of just like pushes down what she kind of maybe is like, she doesn't want to become cynical. So she's like,
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, and maybe having you there, another goblin, we don't know. Yeah, anything could happen.
Yeah. So, okay. Only one backpack. Sorry, Denny. Do you want to just take these, or do you want me to put them back in the cellar?
I'll deal with that. Don't you worry.
Okay. I'll take the one outfit, plus the one I'm wearing. That's technically 2 outfits. That's still okay, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. And yeah, it's gonna be okay. Oh, where is my regent? And he scrambles off the bed and starts throwing things around the room again. He realizes that like some of his herb pouches are missing for some of the spells that he can cast. And one of the things that he digs out is this little box that I think definitely all of you would recognize, that was a box that came from the Wave Echo Cave. And he pulls it out, and as he opens it, Denny, you have a buyer's eye. You immediately see what is probably thousands of gold worth of gems that are in this, including like multiple diamonds. And he's like, okay, yeah, and this whole thing. And he like, it doesn't shut super securely. A couple of the gems go sprawling out. He has no sense of like value of goods.
this is Whimsy's influence right here, baby.
There
That
are
was
some
literally what I was
feathers.
typing in chat. Literally what I was typing in chat.
There are some feathers and some like anything that he perceives to be of value, but certainly there is probably $2,500 worth of gemstones.
That's
in
wild.
This, little box, and he like shoves it into one of the side pockets in his backpack. It's like half falling out, and you know he puts his like Batman belt out and starts like shoving different herbs and shit into it, so that he can be prepared.
So Graja kind of sees him getting back in the thick of preparation. So she like moves towards the door to the room, and she's like,
I'll leave you to it, but I love you, Drew.
And he stops for a second, then runs over to you, and like climbs onto you and gives you another big hug, and manages to like grab Denny's jacket and pull Denny over as well, and gives you guys this big hug. And he's like, this is going to be really cool. This is going to be like the time that I get to go with you guys, and everything's going to be great. I promise.
Yeah, first adventure together ever. It's a big deal.
The one that I'm allowed to. First one I'm allowed to, because the last
Right.
one I wasn't. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. Sorry.
Okay.
And he like scrambles down and goes back to his stuff.
and so Graja will leave the room, and she'll shut the door and kind of like travel a little bit down the hallway with Denny. And I think she is really trying hard to push these images from her mind, which is like originally finding Droop like shivering under a bed in rags, And she's also just like, she has this constant like klaxon in her head going, don't be like your mom, don't be like your mom, don't be like your mom, and control him so much that he eventually pushes you away. Like that's something that's so she's cognizant of every time when she's interacting with Drew. So she kind of like leans a little bit over on Denny and she's like,
Did I do okay?
You did fantastic. You are a spectacular mother, and I don't deserve you.
That's not true. We're both good enough for each other. That's for sure.
and Graja gives him a kiss.
Just like swoops him up bridal style, just like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And yeah, we'll just continue the night.
Denny's like like both feet are in the air, but one foot is like up in the air.
Mhm.
Totally.
I'm gonna say as soon as they leave the room, Whimsy creeps in, drops the portable hole on the floor, and just sort of pushes Droop's other three bags in the hole. Because Whimsy is nothing if not an enabler. Also, he's only 17 himself, so he's pretty much an older brother more than anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that Droop calls you Uncle Whimsy in the way that like Uncle Nine is for sure Uncle Nine. But as you're in
There's
there,
a lot
Droop,
of maturity.
yeah, I mean, definitely Big Brother vibes for sure. Droop is like, hey, by the way, did Kyle show you like the cool trick that we have?
Yeah, like the backwards riding thing. Dope.
It's so cool. Like I can totally, because like the furs that mom got me almost kind of look like Kyle's furs. And so like it just looks like Kyle has like a humpback. And so it's totally like I'm the cool. It's so sly.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks for taking this stuff with me. Like those two bags are Denny's, but like I was really gonna have a hard time choosing between outfits because like what if there's other kids there? Like, I want them to know like they could have like they don't have to be like nasty. Like they could have really cool futures. Like the school here, like all schools suck, but like the school is okay.
You never know. Plus, if we're dealing with a bunch of goblins with weird powers, maybe you want to blend in. Maybe you need an outfit that looks like one of theirs so that you can pretend to be one of them, scout ahead like one
Right?
of the wolves.
Exactly. Or like, okay. And he kind of looks around conspiratorially to see who else might be listening. Do you think if they can do really cool mind stuff, I'll be able to figure that out too? Because I just think it would be so cool. Like, if I can't carry all these backpacks, but then I could do it with my mind. Like, if there's some gods that are giving them this power, maybe I can get that power too.
Maybe, but you've got other cool powers of your own.
I mean, I do, but this would make it so much cooler.
Well, we can't have you being cooler than I am, so
Whimsy, you can literally like change into a wolf. Nobody is cooler than that. But like, if you were like a wolf and then I could lift you up with my mind.
Whimsy thinks about it for a second. He's like, that would be pretty awesome.
Like,
The world's not ready for that.
I just think it would be so cool. Anyway, like
Just
if
get
the
help,
opportunity
but
comes up, I'm not saying no to it.
Whimsy thinks about his own pact that he didn't really want, and he's like, some power comes with a price you don't really want to pay.
Well, but like lifting people up with your mind, that's got to be worth a lot. Anyway, like probably not going to happen, but just like if it does, that'd be really cool. Probably won't, but if it does.
As Danny would say, check the price tag.
You think they'd charge for it? Because, like, I totally have a ton of money saved up. Like, gosh, that would be so much cheaper. Thanks, Denny. Whimsy. Thanks, Whimsy.
Gonna bring all
Oopsie,
of his
it's up
savings
the
with
portable
him
hole, tucked it
too.
back in his pocket.
Yeah. The big clinky pile, like bag of all of his like pennies is about to
Yeah.
come clinking. Self -2. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that anybody else would like to prepare in the last couple of minutes of our game tonight?
No,
I
think
would like to get Droop some armor. I'm not going to tell anybody about it. I'm just going to go and buy him some armor. I don't know if you'll let me get away with it, but I feel like Denny has a fair amount of money from things. I would like to buy Droop a chainmail shirt, but a mithril one, because I think my boy deserves the best.
It's not that you don't have the money or resources to gather such equipment, but mithril armor is exceedingly rare. So it's more of like a time to receive. It's not like an Amazon 2-day ship, you know, like it takes a little bit to source it and find it. So
Fair enough.
he
Fair enough.
does, if I'm not totally mistaken, Droop, because I do think we have a character sheet for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Droop does, you guys got him some enchanted armor last time, did you not?
Okay.
I think, no, it's just leather armor. If you wanted to get maybe an enchantment put on
Hmm.
the armor that
Just
he
a +1
has,
or
that
something.
might be doable, or get him
Okay.
something that is enchanted. That
Like a
is doable,
+2
but I
ring of
think
protection or
mithril would
something.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, however, Denny, I will let you say, I will let you like retcon that you have been planning this for a while. And so you have it for him because you ordered it a while ago. But there may or but I mean thinking ahead that he was going to need it, Graja might
It was
have
going to be
something to say.
it was going to be a birthday present, and just like, oh, one day when you're ready you can use this and come with us, but I think maybe I'll dig it out of the closet early and give it to him.
Okay, so you dig it out. Do you go and give it to him, or do you just like leave it on his bed? Does he know that it's from you?
No, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to wait till he runs off to show Whimsy this trick with Kyle, and I'm just going to sneak in and just kind of leave it there.
Okay. You do so. You leave it right on his bed, and there it is. Okay, fantastic. Anything else, Jart? You need anything?
No, we're good.
We're good. All right. Then in that case, I will wrap us up here, getting ready to leave Coneyberry first thing. You all are headed towards this area on the map that there is this connotation that the land itself has not an actual poison, but that there is some kind of maybe negative karma to the land. You're not Whimsy isn't totally sure. The legend is very old at this point, but it's enough of a real thing that nothing sentient has lived in this area in a while. This is a Duragar mining outpost located in the Sword Mountains east of Phandalin, east of what used to be Phandalin in our alternate timeline that you're heading to. Yeah, and that's where we'll start up. Sean in chat says 9 finds a +2 shield. You got it, buddy. Throw it into your inventory, and we'll start out next week on the road, heading to the Duragar mining outposts. What a good first session, my friends.
So good.
Excited.
It's so good to be back with everybody, and it's so good to be
Oh,
back with
yeah.
everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I saw another raid pop in a few minutes ago. Thank you so much, Xavion Excellence, maybe, for jumping in with us. And thanks, everybody, for being here to watch with us. I'm going to let my players go through and say who they are one more time and where you can see them. I'll shout out Sean first. Sean is not with us tonight. Get better, buddy. Said you can join us next week. But he was in chat, so that counts. 9, you can find him. you can find him in the things, on the things that are going to be in chat in a second here. Yeah, that's Sean. We'll go same order as last time. Amanda, Najra, Nikki, Sarah.
Hi, Amanda. I play Whimsy, the Tiefling Warlock, and apparently an enabler of Droop. But you can find me on most social media as Balder Dashing. And honestly, I love roleplay episodes. As much as like battle is fun, adventure is fun, I love roleplay episodes where it's just character building and interactive stuff. Those are so meaningful to me. And Sarah, I love how much detail you put into everything.
Oh, you guys, I'm wearing mascara that's not waterproof, so don't do that.
Oh.
Najra.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra from Najra Creations. I don't play in many APs and I do it just like one at a time, so there's nothing I can pitch, but I'm a professional cosmaker. If you're looking for cosplays, Christmas gifts, whatever, go check out my web page that it's I think in the chat, and see you next week.
Yes, so excited. Nikki.
Hey everybody, I've been Nikki, your Tiefling Bard. I can be found on Instagram and TikTok under I'm Poppy Field. I don't do anything else apart from those two. And look forward to a bunch of absolute bullshit coming your way on TikTok. Now that I'm back in costume, I have like 60 sounds saved for Denny to use, so it's gonna be insufferable. So thanks.
We need a full costume, like a full, because I want to see all the ring. I need to see all of it. I need to see all of it.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Sarah.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I played Graja Ragerock, the half-orc barbarian. Such a pleasure to be back at this table, and I echo what Amanda said, Sarah. All the care you put into the characters of this world that we inhabit makes for so many special moments, so thank you. Yeah, you can find me on most social media at Diebeats or MC Diebeats. I'm also a part of Martlet Games. We have a lot of nice APs in our back catalog. Vampire the Masquerade. Our entire Dragon Age series is there now as well. You can find me on other Vancouver by Night stuff from the past as the Vampire Prince of Vancouver, Jude. Other than that, if you need your tabletop supplement edited or read, I'm your gal, so think of me if your writing needs some help. But other than that, that's it, and I'll see you next week.
And my name is Sarah. I've been your dungeon mistress here on Phandalin by Night Season 3 as we head into the Shattered Obelisk. Supplement, so trigger warning, spoiler warning for any of you who, well, there are some trigger warnings that we went through in session 0. Play safe at your tables, my friends. But if you haven't played through and you're thinking about playing through, just be aware that we are using that supplement for this season. However long that takes. You can find me here. You can find me over on TikTok at smorad, kind of everywhere. And if you like my style and you're interested in kind of a Lord of the Rings setting, I partnered with Free League Games this summer to run Rangers of the North, which was an all-fem cast for a story that is not like other stories that get represented in Lord of the Rings, and I'm really proud of it. So go check that out on the Girls Run These Worlds channel. And yeah, thanks. A special thank you to our sponsors who I totally had ready to read the card for. Mikhail Artoria of Artoria Designs, Illuminagents, Orc.style, and Martlet Games. Thank you again to Stephen Joe and Vancouver by Night for having us here. And we will, I don't see who we're rating because I might be missing that, but I'm sure that it's going to be someone because we like to send the love on to somebody else. And I adore you all. We will see you next week with Sean definitely in attendance. Good night, everybody. Have a happy Sunday. Happy Diwali, everybody. Bye.
We're off to Darling Creep Show. Show them some love.
Bye.
Bye.